shot. One shot. We're taking one shot before AI takes over everything, and then you have this crazy gap between people who have and people who have not. Well, if you're losing your job for AI, then AI is being misused, basically.
Oh,
Let's do it.
yeah, all right. Hey, Hassan. Awesome. Happy to have you here. Yeah, maybe you can have like a short introduction about
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my name is Hassan Habib. I am a nerd, big nerd, a guy that likes to talk about software. I own way too many computers, as you may tell from the background, and I love people. I love people a lot. I like to help people. I like to use technology to make people's lives easier, whether if they're software engineers, I like to kind of just tell them, here's what I learned, here's what I can share with you. Maybe that's helpful, maybe it's not. And for others, the people that are not exactly techies or anything like that, I like to build products and software for them that makes their lives a little bit easier. So, yep,
I love that. I resonate with that a lot.
yep,
Thank you for sharing that. And
yep.
I'm so glad I stumbled on your birthday post on LinkedIn. Just like for some reason, you just appeared on my LinkedIn post, and we weren't even not connected. I love the learnings and the wisdoms you shared there. So I'm gonna read like two that really stood out the most for me. So one is
Yeah,
like, smile, enjoy the journey. It's a lot more fun if you can see the funny side of life. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, there's just so much drama going on with life and just the world, and it's just, have to have nice to have like a positive note on everything. Very nice. And
absolutely.
the next one, help people with an exclamation mark. And
Yes,
don't expect anything in return. Help until there's no one else left to help. Man, I love that.
that
It's
that's exactly right.
it's very rare. It's very rare to find people like this, and yeah, and thank you for sharing that to the whole world in LinkedIn and whoever who has seen that.
Yeah,
And yeah, as a
yeah,
follow-up question, can you tell a significant story where you helped someone and something that you're comfortable to share? Yeah.
yeah, of course. So I remember a while back there was someone who didn't have any background in tech at all, and they just wanted to get into tech. Nobody wants to hire them because they don't have experience. That kind of dilemma. You can't get the job unless you have experience, but you need a job to have experience, and you just keep going in that. It's like catch 22. What I did with that person is that I taught them software engineering. It
Oh,
took months and months because, when you come with no background in computer science or technology, it becomes a little bit harder for you to, kind of grasp some of the concepts, right? And then I basically said, hey, do you want to intern with me, right? I have this little startup. Let's intern with you so I can give you like in your resume, you can have that experience that you actually built product and engaged and whatnot. And then eventually they landed a full-time job, right? And they unfortunately, because of how society is structured today, they always say, how do I pay you back? What do I owe you? And I'm like, nothing. Nothing really. And they said, well, explain that a little bit to me. That's a little bit of a foreign language. Everyone wants something. And if you think about it, we are where we are because of people who did something for us and received nothing in return. Starting from our parents, right? Starting from our parents, especially moms. Moms, she will work day and night. She will do things that we just can't quantize, like things we can't really put
mm,
a price on. Starting from our teachers, people who wanted to help us along the way, really didn't want anything, our friends, and even some stranger that saw you in a situation and maybe stood up and gave you the seat in a bus, or a stranger who basically slowed down told the driver to slow down so you can catch the bus, or in the
mm,
train or whatever. If you think about it, a lot of people like to think, yeah, I built myself. This was all me, my doing. Not really. 90% of where you are today is because of people that are doing random acts of kindness. And I think if we make that something more of, something more intentional,
mm.
I think, our world will be maybe a little bit better than it is today.
Yeah, I love that. Man, you're so kind, you're so empathetic, and then I can see like how grateful you are. Yeah, I love that. I used to run a mentorship program as well, and to your point, like, yeah, I see a lot of people, especially in my country, Philippines, where they're looking for work, and then now with AI, it's just like getting
It's
harder
even
and
harder.
harder.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I
It's even
wanna
harder.
I wanna get
Hmm.
your like idea and thoughts on like how
Hmm.
like one, how has AI affected all these people, and is there like hope for these new people who are getting into tech, and how should they approach it?
Yeah, AI is gonna take everyone's job away unless people are not aware. AI will take everyone's job away. That's a fact, right? And then what's going to happen, and I'm telling you that because just in this last quarter, 77,000 jobs were eliminated because AI can do it, right? There's this guy, I was just talking to my friend yesterday about this, which is, this guy has been working as a director of marketing for over 20 years,
Oh my
right? And
God.
him and his team as an entire department was shut down, laid off because people decided to hire a couple of smart people that know how to do things with AI and agentic AI and whatnot, and they basically automated their jobs. I want to be careful though, because I don't want people to think like this is it, this is the end. But it can be quite a dark, sad outcome if people are not careful and they're not doing something about it, like yesterday, like as soon as possible.
Mm,
Um, Here's the thing. It's not about there's no hope. It's about how AI is being handled today, right? Right now you have two or three super AI powers, right, in the
yeah.
market. And these names are the people that go to, they are the ones buying all the hardware. They are the ones hiring all the smart people. 1 million sign up bonus, 2 million sign up bonus. Like imagine if you're willing to give $1 million sign up bonus, how much money are you making, right? You're
Mm,
talking the B letters here, right? 500 billion and 600 billion and stuff like that. But it's not the end of the road. What I've been trying recently, I started a project called PeerLLM. Do you see that little screen in the back there? What PeerLLM is that it basically goes and says, okay, everyone has a computer, everyone has internet, right? At least for the most part, everyone has a computer and internet. And what PeerLLM is to basically you run a program on your machine,
mm,
and it basically, instead of the AI prompts going to one of these big names, it goes to decentralized network, and every token you serve, you get paid for it, right? So instead of billions and billions of dollars going to one single person, maybe in San Francisco, just throwing ideas there, it would go to people everywhere. Like let's say you lift your computer on just like this computer here, and it's running like this, and it's serving compute, right? Like people send a prompt, a question, and it's taking care of it, and it's answering for them, right? It collects all these tokens and it comes at the end of the month and says, okay, you served 3 million tokens, 4 million tokens, here's $400, here's $500, here's $5,000, whatever it may be, the number of tokens that you did. And what that does, basically, it means that instead of this monopoly like market that we're in. No, everyone gets to make money, but
mm,
everyone also gets to live their life. So you're not stuck in this 9 to 5, having to deal with things you don't want to deal with. You have to wake up really early in the morning. You have to be in meetings you don't want to be in. Maybe you have a horrible manager or a terrible company that don't compensate you properly for your talent. Let's throw all that away. Let's make AI actually work for us. What
mm,
the way it was meant to be. It needs to work for us, right? So I put this out there. I got 45 volunteers. I didn't even start the monetization process yet. I got 45 people, in 48 hours telling me we want to participate. We want to try this new program. I said, but you're not going to get paid yet. Are you sure? I'm still testing the program. I want to make sure things work. And they're like, yes, we understand. We read your website, we read your documentation. We're going to test it. I'm planning to go live with it in November. But here's the deal, though. These people that are software engineers or artists or people who like farming or whatever they think their purpose in life is, I want them to be able to still do that while not have to worry about paying rent.
mm.
You see what I'm doing? That's
I
the
love
idea
that.
of pure LLM, right? I want people to be able if you like to sleep, you should be able to sleep and still be able to pay rent. If you like to shop, you should be able to go shopping and not have to worry about rent and about food. That's what I want to do with Peer LLM, to let people do the one thing they were meant to do, living, not sitting in a cubicle
Mm,
or whatever, whatever life is like right now. I remember not to go too long. I don't want to take over but I remember I was at a coffee shop here in Redmond, Washington, and this person sitting next to me, she was talking about how horrible her life is. Her boss is horrible, treating her bad, doesn't want to give her sick days, all of that stuff. This is a obviously a smart person, right? But she just got lumped into that grinding machine, that system, right?
mm,
And she just
mm.
doesn't know how to get out. She doesn't know how to get out, right? Very smart person. I was like, okay, how do we make AI actually work for us, not destroy us? And that's the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it through Peer
Yeah.
LLM.
What I like about this project is you don't have to be a coding guru. You don't have to be a
Nope,
software engineer.
nope.
Man,
You just it's stole and run. Mhm.
I have a question though. Like, how do you deal with the legalities? Like, is 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 this okay? Like,
I'll tell you.
are the big AI companies gonna come at you? Like, how does this go?
So let's talk about the legality. I have a very strict terms and conditions. First of all, the program that you're running doesn't allow you to kind of, get into it. And actually, there's a lot of encryption happening, so nobody listens in on the conversations and all
Uh-huh.
that kind of stuff. So that's one part. The second part is there are really strict terms and conditions that the person has to agree on, and if they are found in violation, other than the fact that they will be dropped from the network, right? They will be sued, right? Because you can't actually, endanger or put the user that's using the system and leveraging your compute power, in danger or makes anything that kind of hurts them. But more importantly, this system that's running, it doesn't store any data.
Mm,
It doesn't store any data at all. Like I could prompt the system, it will just answer the question and then it's gone. There is no storing of data whatsoever. The most important part, though, this system is running on free, open source, Apache licensed AI models.
which one is
So the
this?
people, this one is Mistral 7B.
I see.
Mistral 7B, right? It's a company in Europe. They built an LLM. It's called Mistral. Said sure, use it however you like, as long as you have the attribution. Okay, this we're using Mistral 7B. It belongs to this company, whatever. And the good news is there is hundreds of thousands of LLMs that are just like that. There's an LLM for Minecraft. There's an LLM for coding.
Uh,
There's a whole community called the Hugging Face
yeah.
community, and this Hugging Face community has hundreds and hundreds of those, right? And it's just a like the decentralization and the open source community fixing AI, building it in a way that is helping us. That's the legal part of it, right? I consulted with a bunch of legal folks.
Mm,
I have drafts of terms and conditions and end user license agreement. Use this as your own risk, and if you're a host, we're going to be monitoring, we're going to watch, if you're using the data at all, any even for logging, even for any reason, we're going to have to shut you down and
mm,
we know who you are because you registered with us. And so this is the part where I'm trying. But let me just tell you one more thing. Having a decentralized network of LLMs is way more secure than sending it to a big corporation. And I'll tell you why. The big corporation literally hires hundreds of data engineers, like intentionally actively working on using your data actively, right? I'll tell you something sneaky, something like OpenAI does. If you go to OpenAI and go to settings,
mm.
by default, there's a check mark that's checked to yes that says use my conversation for training the AI model. By default,
Oh
by
my
default. I'm not making this up. I swear to you. I'm telling
That's
you.
so scary.
By
That's
default,
scary.
it isn't that scary? Like think about it. Like your regular person who's not a tinkerer, who's not a
Mm,
software engineer, they're not gonna get that far. They're not gonna go and say, well, I here, this one right here. Let me kind of share the screen and show you.
yeah,
So this guy right here. If you use ChatGPT, hold on, let me see why it's not sharing. Come on. Is
yeah,
it sharing now? Can you see
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Do you see this part here? Usually, this part is checked by default. Improve the model for everyone. Allow your content to be used to train our models, which makes ChatGPT better for you and everyone who uses it. We take steps to protect privacy, yada, 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 yada. Right? So
Mm.
this is enabled by default. Check your own ChatGPT. If you've never checked that settings, you're gonna find that it's enabled by default. Okay,
Oh my God.
but when you distribute that across computers, let's say your chat is being handled by a computer of a grandma in Nebraska, right? All she does is just goes on Facebook and talks about her neighbors, right? And she said, "Well, I need money for my insulin shot.
Mm.
Insulin is so expensive, and my kid told me to install this app and it's gonna make me money. Why not? Let's do it." Right? She doesn't care about your data. She has no interest whatsoever what you're
Yeah.
asking, what you're not asking. If she could get, even for a smart person, a tech person, if they can get through the encryption, decryption of the data, if they can get through the monitoring, if they can get through being banned, and even then, let's say they could actually listen to that conversation. When will be the next time they actually catch your conversation? Because it's a round robin. Like if you have 100,000 hosts, right? It's going round robin. It doesn't
Mm.
really, the next time versus a company that knows who you are, has your email, has your name, knows exactly all of your conversation. All the conversations are stored client side in Peer LLM. We don't store any conversations. We're not interested in it,
How does that work?
right?
Like if it's a round robin and then the data is like passing through, like is it like temporal? Like how do you pass it
Yeah,
and you
it's
don't
very
store
it's
it?
very temp it's
Okay.
very temporal, it's very temporary, and also more importantly, like the next time you want to continue a conversation, it doesn't continue on the same host. It just summarizes what you have already on the client side and send it to another host, say start from here. Do you
Mm-hmm.
get it?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Maybe I'll
Please check it
volunteer.
out. PeerLLM is awesome. Every host, I'll show you what a host looks like. Like it's literally a desktop application. Here, this is what it looks like. I think something is weird with Discord because when I click the share, I have to click the share like 50 times to
What?
actually share a screen. But now you get to see that's what a host looks like,
Wait, it's
right?
saying
It'll tell you how.
it's still
Yeah,
loading.
it'll tell you.
What?
Do you see it now?
No, it's still loading. What's going? No, it's loading. I don't
Uh,
see.
let me try to unshare and reshare. Here.
Yeah,
So here's one. Share.
let's
Give it a
try
second there.
that. There's nothing.
Yeah, I know. Like the share screen. Yeah, there.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
see
saying
it
like,
now?
oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
See? And now let's just pretend like, that there's so it tells you which models you have, how much memory it's using, GPU power, whatever. Let's just say I started a conversation, right? Like, here's I'm gonna go to the actual chat and basically say, I am a random person on the internet and I'm trying to chat with you with this model, right? So I'm gonna go like this and say chat up here, but I know you can't see that part. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Watch this.
Mhm.
Watch. Here we go. You get to see a live demo. Okay, I'm gonna just say hi, how are you? I will show you this chat window in a second, but you'll see how it's going. See, it's
Mhm.
loading the model in memory, and then you see how the tokens are going through. And
Mhm.
while it's doing that, watch what's happening on the other side. Watch this. I know I took the screen away.
Yeah.
Watch this. I'll give it a second because I think Discord.
This guy's dying on us. Come on.
Yes.
There you go.
Here it is. Do you see the chat?
Mhm.
And basically I can go and say, okay, what is the capital of France? And it will just go and try to answer. All this is coming from my machine, and you can see on the network that my machine is answering and handling this conversation, and these some other volunteer machines that are running at the same time, right? So you see how, it's all happening in real time.
Yeah,
The data goes nowhere. It stays on your client, on your browser,
that's so
right?
cool.
And it's just one random machine that's running out there.
Nice. So what are the requirements to be a host?
Really,
Like,
you just go and submit a form. I review your form and I make sure that, and you indicate this, you say I have this kind of hardware, and then I
yeah.
approve it and I send you the software to install and you run it. That's it.
How much GPU are we talking?
If you have at least 32 gigs of RAM, right, and a good i5 or an i9, CPU, that's be enough. That'd be more than
Oh,
enough.
oh
And I'm
yeah.
trying to optimize it as well. I want it to run really on an i3 or an i5. So that's something I'm working on to make sure it runs on everyone's. I had a guy reach out to me on LinkedIn. He said, "Do you want it to run on people's phones?" So nobody shuts down their phones. When their phone is like 10%, they run to charge it and whatever. He said, "Do you want me to make it run on phones?" I said, I'll keep you in mind. Sit on the side. I do want to do that. I really do. So that's the trick, right? I
Mm,
definitely try it. Just to get back to your question, this is how I am attempting to balance things out a little bit for people who are losing their jobs to AI, but even people who have jobs but they hate it, right? What if this system could give them 4 to 5, maybe $7,000 every month, so they can pay the bills, save some money, buy food, and maybe even go out, but at the same time, they don't actually have to work every day, right?
mm,
They
mm,
just have to find their purpose, right? Go find your purpose. Go be an artist. You want to be an artist? Go be an artist. Do you want to just like sit at the cafeteria all day and watch people come and go? Do that. Be happy, right? I feel like from my from my experience, I feel there's a lot of people out there that have great ideas. They just don't have the opportunity because they're stuck in this
mm,
24/7, 9 to 5 grind, right?
mm-hmm,
Day and night. It drains their batteries, it drains their mental health. They get really sick. A lot of people get some crazy illnesses because of that mental state that they're putting themselves in, and they don't have an option. They hit their jobs when they can't find another job,
mm,
or they can't find a job at all, and now that just turns them into person that they don't really understand.
yeah. Well, I love this moment that you're starting. Man, I fully, fully support this. And man, it's like game changing, man. Game
This is it.
changing.
This is our shot. One shot. We're taking one shot before AI takes over everything, and then you have this crazy gap between people who have and people who have not. I asked a buddy of mine. He's crazy. He's as crazy as you can imagine a tech bro in San Francisco would be like, right? And I asked him. I said to him, "Well, what about, if companies continue to lay off people, you're basically killing your consumer base. Like they're not going to be people to buy your products." I said, no, no, no. There's a solution for that. Companies continue to lay off people and then raise the price of their products. So only the elites, only that
Mm.
top class can have things. The rest can just survive.
Phew. Man, that's a world I don't
Horrible,
want to live in.
horrible, horrible, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
supposed to serve us, right? And now it's being used against people. If you're losing your job for AI, then AI is being misused, basically.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I wanted to talk about, so I just found out today that you have like a huge following in in
I
YouTube.
do
It's super
on
awesome.
YouTube.
And you're going, it's all about, like, I see Blazor, like all Microsoft kind of tech, is it? And then there's this one, The Standard. I looked at it like, wow, it's the whole long document. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. The standard is basically my life's work, right? The purpose of the standard is to actively and intentionally and consciously stop bullying in the tech industry. A lot of people join the tech industry and they get bullied by the seniors and the principals and the, big guys that basically say, "Oh, you don't get it. You're not smart enough for it."
Mm-hmm.
That happens, right? Especially for juniors and people. I turned the most difficult concepts in the software industry into something that anyone can understand. It's a theory called the tri nature of things. And I wrote this book, The Standard, to basically help people build end to end, most complex systems in the simplest kind of ways without having to need a senior or a principal to bully them and slap them around before they actually give them a little piece of information. And I created a community around it. It's called the Standard Community. and this community started expanding and spreading around the world. I think we're going strong, 335 people in different companies everywhere, and they continue to contribute. They continue to bring different cases, and the standard continues to grow. The standard is the most humble thing I can present to the world because it's always going to be in draft mode. It's always learning. It's always
Mm,
growing. It's not like a one book and the way or the highway. No, it keeps growing. It keeps changing. But more importantly, just read people impressions about it, the people that used it. I remember someone at Microsoft told me this before. They said the standard turned me from someone who's being intimidated to someone who's being empowered,
mm.
because now I can sit in a meeting room with a bunch of principals and seniors and tell them, no, we can structure the system this way. And they're just completely shocked. How did you
Wow.
know all that stuff? Right? That's what the standard is. It's hope. It's guidance. It's light for those who nobody wants to help.
I love that. So this is applicable on all disciplines, back end, front end, like
The whole
ML.
thing, end
That
to
is
end,
awesome. That is so
end to end.
awesome.
If you want to design any system in the world, I had a guy who's not a software engineering, he's a business guy. He said, I loved the first chapter because it talks in general about how everything is a dependency and a purpose and an exposure,
Hmm.
right? The tri nature theory, right? He said, I love that. I use that every day in my business. It doesn't matter what you're building. You're building back-end, front-end system. You're building a process. You're building a database, system, or you're building even a mom and pop shop. It doesn't matter what you're building. An API, a front end, a mobile app. It doesn't matter, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Is it like you can access it through GitHub, or do you have like an actual
You can access it.
book?
Yeah. So I'll tell you. I'll show you. So you have two options, right? You actually have three options. The first option you have, and I'm sharing the screen, but Discord is gonna get to it in a second. I'm gonna type, yeah, there you go, the standard
Yeah,
Hassan Habib, like that. Okay, so here's the options you have.
yeah.
First, you have it on GitHub here, and you can download the PDF by simply just going to the releases
Hmm.
and literally just click on the standard PDF, and it's gonna download the standard, and you have it in its full updated format.
Love
It
that.
talks about the theories. It's a little bit chatty. It's 202 pages, right? It's a full-blown
Mm,
book, right? But it gets to the point. It talks to engineers. It talks about the theory. It talks about life in general, right?
mm,
The other option you have is that, okay, you don't want to do it this way. You want to read MD. Okay, you have a list, long, long list of
mm.
topics, right? They're all connected together, and it talks basically about every single detail that you can think of when it comes to architecting systems and whatnot. Okay, so there's the option with the PDF. There's the option with the MD, which is the GitHub files. There is
Yeah.
also this option. You like hard copies, books, whatever. You can go to
Oh,
Amazon,
nice.
get the yeah, you can get the paperback and you can get the Kindle. Here's the good part about this. You can actually deduct that from your taxes because when you buy this book, 100% of the money that comes from these books goes to World Central Kitchen. Like I don't actually keep that with me. Nope, it all goes to World Central Kitchen. There's a lot of hungry people out there. There's a lot of disasters around the world. And I think like I didn't mean for this book to be something for profit.
Mm,
I meant for it to be something for everybody to kind of actually take a value out of. So that's the third thing. Now, what's beautiful about this is that communities, people started picking this up and going and translating it. It's not always all translated, but I love how people just took it and they started translating the standard. Let's see here. Oh, this is probably the link. Just yeah, there's the link. If you look here, you can see people starting to
wow.
translate it in all kinds of different languages, which I really, really appreciate. I appreciate the people that actually put the time and effort into kind of like taking the
Yeah.
standard, go and translate. They saw value in it to the point where they said, I want to bring this to my people. I want my people to know this. They don't have to know English. They don't have to know anything. I also implemented the standard for people in different programming languages. So if
Mm-hmm.
you like Go or Scala or R or Kotlin, whatever, it doesn't matter what programming language you like. I'm trying to tell people it's not tied up to C Sharp.net. It's not tied up to any particular framework or any particular technology. You can implement it anywhere, however you like, and it's still gonna work. It's really simple and easy, and anyone can understand it. That's the point of it. It's to make it simple and easy for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last thing is to tell people, okay, this is not just talk. The standard is also implemented in some open source projects that have hundreds of thousands of downloads around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Levent, I built RESTful Sense. Like, let's go to RESTful Sense, have 500,000 downloads
Mm.
and it's all standardized, right? If you go to NuGet, right, here's 500,000 downloads. If you look at all the projects or all the open source libraries out there that I have, I think we reached 1.5 million. Look at all these different libraries that people
Yeah,
can use, and they're all standard compliant. They're all standard compliant,
it's
right? So
amazing.
that's what this is. It's about people again. Going back to this point, the community, the people. Can I actually be beneficial to you without expecting anything in return? When I say help people
Yeah,
until there's nothing left, nobody else left to help, I really mean this. I really mean it. I apply this every day. Mm-hmm.
that is so amazing. And how were you able, of course, like I'm pretty sure you've been doing this even though in your when you were starting your career. But like people these days, they're just trying like the thing we're discussing, people are just trying to grind. People are just trying to survive. Like how do you even get to the point where you are financially stable and you can help other people like you have built like like you're founder of PeerSoft, Best Bites,
Yep.
then you have a YouTube
Yep.
channel, you have things going on for you, but what about
Yep.
these other people who are just going day by day, paycheck to paycheck, like
I'll tell you.
maybe you have an
I'll tell you.
advice for them?
Absolutely, 100%. So here's the deal. Um, Everyone needs financial stability, but you also need mental and spiritual stability. And you're not going to get this mental and spiritual stability until you give something of yourself out there to the world.
Mm,
Okay. So while everyone is 100% focused on the physical, material, financial stability, they often discard or forget or they don't have time for mental and spiritual stability. They just don't have time for it,
mm,
right? It needs intention, right? Like I know people that work two jobs, right? And there's nothing left in their energy for them to invest in their mental state and spiritual state. And this is where everyone finds themselves working, 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 working. But, whatever comes in gets spent out. It goes on rent and food and, mortgage or whatever. And then there's nothing else left. So if you think about it, if you invest all your energy and power on just the financial stability, that means in a market like this, when everything crashes, you got nothing else left because whatever you spent went down the drain.
mm,
It already went in rent, and rent passed, and then here's a new month where you have to pay the exact same amount, right? Or it's mortgage, and now you have to pay the next payment of mortgage, or you lose your house, you lose everything. Here's an advice for everyone. Number one, detach. Detach. Do you actually need what you have, right? Do you need it, right? Is this something that you can't survive without? Number two, detach from greed, detach from fear, right? It's the fear that makes people act in a certain way that might not be into their best interest, right? Take some time of your day and do something else. Write a book, teach someone something, go out there and volunteer for something. I promise you, if you're kind and you work hard, good things will happen, right? Don't be a nameless, faceless corporate cog who has no other purpose but to just go trade time for money. These are
mhm,
very strong words, but they're meant to be strong to kind of wake people up and tell them, do more, do something else, right? Get some hope and energy and try to do something else. My advice is that don't work on something you don't like.
mm.
Because if you work on something you don't like, you're trading more than just time, you're trading your spirit and your soul. I know a lot of people don't have options, and I respect and I acknowledge that. But there's a difference between not having options and continuing to not have options, and not have options and continuing to grind and hit and knock every door until you find new options and create new options from nothing, right?
Mm,
It's a mindset, Faith. It's a mindset, right? Are you willing to be doing the exact same thing for 20 years, even though you despise every part of it? That
mm,
sounds like torture. That's
mhm,
jail time, right?
mm,
Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I had moments where I had nothing, zero. I had minus. I was in the overdraft. Isn't that what bank call it? Overdraft. You're overdrafting. You're taking minus money, right?
yeah.
The solution to this is to work really, really hard until you get to a point where you can do the second thing and the third thing and then scale. Now I have the YouTube channel, I have the books, I have and I don't profit from all of it, it's just bits and pieces here and there. As long as you can do business and you can provide value for people, good things will happen. Because it's not just about your skill set. It's not just about how hard you work. It's also
Mm.
about how much you would like to give away and not expect anything in return.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I think that's like a anti-statement for all the business people out there, where where they're just like go out there and then try to take money from
Grind,
other
grind,
people.
grind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I
But
I know someone personally. I know someone personally that basically says this. I'm not gonna stop grinding and working until my bank account looks like my phone number.
uh,
I was like, that's such a low aim, right? Because if that's all your value, numbers, then you've brought nothing to the world. Like you have to do something more than
mm,
that. Have you
mm,
made someone happy? Have you gave someone hope? Right?
mm.
Have you made things better for people? Not everything you can measure with numbers, right? Some
Oh, for
things are
real.
just a lot more valuable than that. Like, how do you put a price on hope, right? Like, if you sit down with someone and actually make them hopeful, what
Mm.
is that? Is that a job? I don't think so, right? Can you measure it? Can you say this is worth $100? I'll give you 20% hope versus 50% hope. It's immeasurable. It's the
Oh yeah.
things that AI can't do for you, right?
Oh yeah. It's priceless. It's priceless. It's yeah, for sure. And I love that. Like it's such a good reminder that, measure of success or measure of happiness is never like the number of money you have in the bank account. So
That's
I love
exactly.
that.
That's exactly. You have to have money, like own the world, but don't let it own you. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
not your purpose in life, right? Like do more. Be something else. Be human, right? Be
Mm,
human. That's more important.
I
Because
love that.
AI now will be able to make more money than anyone, right? AI will do the same jobs like anyone. So what distinguishes you from a toaster, right? AI is a toaster. It's just a smart toaster, right? So
Yeah.
mhm.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think we covered a lot. I was actually thinking of like going through your past and like, Microsoft work, but I think what we're talking about is more interesting, at least for me.
Yeah, who
I
cares about the
love
past? Yeah,
I
it's
love talking about this, like talking about helping people, providing value to other people without expecting anything in return.
yes.
Yeah, maybe you can talk more about like, okay, you have PeerLLM, you have the standard, like what other like ventures or like what other like maybe you have events, community, like what are the things you're doing? Or maybe
Yeah,
outside of
yeah, for
tech. Maybe outside of tech.
right. Yeah, for the most part, I personally, like to well, for starters, I like to help people with building custom software in general, understand their problems. Software is my vehicle to connect to people in general, regardless what this is, right? I
Yeah.
like reading books. I
Hmm.
like the F1 cars, the F1 races. I like to watch those and whatnot. I really like, greenery, right? Hence
Okay.
Washington State, all the greenery that I mean, you're in Vancouver, so you know exactly like the scene down
Oh
here.
yeah.
I like that. I think I always tell people like uh find something that really touches you in terms of beauty and try to enable that exact same feeling into whatever you build. Right? That's the secret. Like look at a nice green valley with rivers in it. And
Mhm.
if that kind of captivates you, store that feeling and try to make that feeling come out of what you build.
That is
right? Because
amazing.
that's how you, right? That's how you put love and care, and that's how you put beauty into whatever you build, right? Because if it makes you feel that way, it'll make a lot of people feel the same way, right?
That's so profound, man. Man, I paint.
You
I
like to
paint,
paint? Nice.
yeah, I like to paint, but like I'm a very systematic one. Like I don't, it's not coming from imagination, like it's always a reference. But yeah, I
Mm-mm-mm.
never thought of like, okay, I want to capture something and then transfer that to like custom solutions, like product. Like I don't know, that's
Do,
amazing. Is it
do,
like
do,
the
do you
is
know
it like
why?
the feeling? Is it like about the feeling that you want the user to feel? Is it
Yes, yes. I want both the builder and the user, right?
mm,
And that's what makes us human, right?
the
AI doesn't
feeling?
understand. It doesn't understand happiness. It doesn't understand love. It doesn't understand hope. It could
Mm.
explain it to you really, really well, but it doesn't feel it, right? We
Mm,
feel it, right? Like what is hope, right? What is hope? Hope feels like a word about to be spoken, like you're
mhm,
just about to say something. All these feelings that overwhelm you before you kind of say it, right? AI will never understand that, okay? And if we embed that into whatever we build, right? That's something that cannot be automated, cannot be, it could be simulated, but it cannot be automated,
mm,
right? That's a big difference, right? Um, you can tell immediately when you're looking at a product or a picture or a painting or using something, you can tell immediately whether the person who built this actually really tried to put so much love and care into it,
mm.
regardless of the pay, regardless of the job, regardless whether it's a requirement or
I
not,
love that.
right?
I love that.
Yeah. And
It's
then and then the next level is to make people feel that way when they use it.
yeah, I
That's
think
the
it's
ultimate goal, right?
yeah, I think it's a thing that's kind of like going away now. It's about the craft.
Mm,
You know,
mm.
craft is going away. It's like you can just prompt the AI, like do this, and people tend to like trust AI so much that you don't even look at the code that it spitted out. And yeah, it's
Yep.
happening to me too. Like sometimes I miss like the grind of like just typing and like looking at everything and then thinking about everything. But now we shift this everything to AI and then give
AI.
the
Yep.
responsibility to it. And yeah, what is how do you build solutions now? How do you use AI and balance the craft versus automation?
So, so the one thing that I could use AI for is when I want it to go through a new library or a new framework or something, and I want it to go find all the options to implement a certain purpose. Like for instance, I was using a library called Llama Sharp. Llama Sharp is a library that allows you to interact and communicate with large language models, right? There's a whole bunch of documentation about that library. I want to find something very specific. So it's a really smart search engine to go and say, here's an example of how to implement these certain pieces, right? But the actual development process, I still enjoy it very much. I would never give that up for whatever reasons because that's what makes it fun for me, right? It's like basically telling you, let me tell you this. It's like telling you, hey, why don't you just download a picture and click print and the printer will print the exact picture that you're trying to paint and you're like, no, you don't understand. I like the process of
Yeah.
actually painting. It's very therapeutic to me. That's the same thing with me. Like AI for me is be like, go find me references and things I need. Like go find the materials. But I still have to build and write the software itself. And I promise you, I swear, I was just solving a problem 2 days ago, and neither Claude or GPT or Grok or any of these big they just kept going in circles. They really couldn't solve it, right?
Mm,
Because they're limited by the knowledge that they have. They don't have creativity, and more important, they don't have persistence. Like they
mm,
don't understand the idea of like you gotta keep pushing, you gotta bend technology to your will, right? Don't just go with the flow. Only dead fish go with the flow. You have to create something out of nothing, right? It is true, the craft is going away, right? A lot of things will be automated. People are not gonna have jobs, but hopefully I can, with peer LLM and people who are thinking about people first before profit,
Mm,
hopefully there will be a solution. Because here's the thing, like if you talk to any person that has made it in the AI industry and started to make a 7 and 8 and 9 digit number, they'll tell you, yeah, AI is taking jobs, but it's creating new jobs.
mm,
See, the missing part about this is that the people who lose their jobs, how much time they have to be able to do the new job.
mm,
See, that's the challenge, right? See, that's the bug in that statement, right? Like let's say, oh, it's creating 100,000 jobs for data labeling, but you just laid off a marketing person who doesn't have that skill set. How long they need to do to make that kind of switch between, or an accountant or whatever is out there. What if they're not interested in to do that? What doing that? What if
mm,
they want to still be a marketing person, want to be an accountant? They don't want to sit on a computer and tell AI what's a dog and what's a cat and all that kind of stuff. See, the statement itself is buggy. It's not
mm,
true,
mm.
right? By definition.
Good point.
Uh,
Very good point. Yeah, I mean, I really, really love talking to you. I think I could go on and on and on. It's just so many goodness, so many, oh my God. And you're so smart. I mean, you're not just kind, but
appreciate
like
you.
it's just like building stuff for other people. That's awesome. Yeah, so maybe we could close out like you've been around as an engineer for a long time. Like how much time now?
Oh, I've been doing this for 26 years now.
All
26
right.
years.
That is awesome. And just keeping
A
that
little bit more than
humility
the.
is awesome.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
So,
Go.
what's your advice from someone with that experience?
Big advice. Be curious, never stop, and people first. People first, people
Mm,
first, people first. Um, if you put anything before people, you're gonna be one of those people that get left behind. So always people first, right? Because that's what we are. Connected. Community, right?
mm, mm. Awesome. I'll definitely check out PeerLLM Standard
Yes, please.
communities. I'm gonna follow you on YouTube. I'm so happy I got connected with you.
Same here.
Yeah, such a pleasure, Hassan.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Faith. I appreciate you. Please take care. Be happy, successful, and prosperous always. And I wish you the best with the podcast and everything with life. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Take
you
care.
too, you too. All right. Thank you.